Significant developments tonight at Celtic as they step up their search for a successor to Neil Lennon. Let's get more on this. This is the man in the know, Charles Patterson, in Scotland this evening. Charles, good evening. Eddie Howe, is it happening?
Well, Jim, it's an interesting development over the last 24 hours. What we know is that Celtic and Eddie Howe have had contact over the managerial vacancy left by Neil Lennon. Now, Eddie Howe, of course, has been out of work since leaving Bournemouth last summer. He's spent time with his family, and in that time he has had options to return to football that he has chosen not to pursue. He is keen to return to top-level management in the not-too-distant future, and Celtic are one of the potential options on the table, but there are other possibilities out there. What we do also know, though, is that the Celtic hierarchy are impressed with what Eddie Howe could offer them, and there is the potential for a package to be put together that could tempt Eddie Howe to return to management with Celtic. However, there is a complicating factor in that the Celtic football department is now shorn not just of Neil Lennon but also of Nick Hammond, and Nick Hammond left the job of head of football operations yesterday, and he has been responsible really for recruitment and bringing players in for Neil Lennon's team over the last couple of years. Celtic need to fill these two positions. Do those two appointments go hand in hand? Would Eddie Howe want to have a say in who else is appointed at Celtic in a director of football role, sporting director, whatever you want to call that role? Or would that person be coming in alongside Eddie Howe? Would they be coming in after him? There are a lot of questions that remain unanswered. What we also know, though, is that John Kennedy is currently in interim charge, and I spoke to him today and asked him whether he had any knowledge of timescale as to when there could be a new appointment at Celtic.
We still have a recruitment team. We still have a chief scout or head of recruitment. So all the processes and the personnel are still there. Yeah, the heads of those departments, whatever that may be, Peter, Neil, Nick, are changing. But underneath that, the work still goes on. And then again, the club will decide what's the best way moving forward in terms of who they replace and how they structure that. If they want to make any structural changes, or they just replace like for like in terms of personnel. So again, that's at board level, that's above me. They'll make the decisions, but very much behind the scenes things will still, keep moving forward the way they do. And then obviously when decision time comes, then there'll be people there to make those decisions.
It certainly looks like a summer of major change at Celtic. Chief Executive Peter Lawwell is stepping down. He's being replaced by Dominic Mackay, who's coming in from the Scottish Rugby Union. And of course, we learnt last week that Scott Brown, the captain, is leaving for Aberdeen as well. In terms of the manager's position, though, that is something that Celtic would like to get nailed down pretty quickly. It is not cut and dried, but Eddie Howe is certainly somebody that the club have spoken to. It would have to be the right fit, not just for Celtic though, but for him as well. And in terms of the fan base, would they be excited by Eddie Howe? Well, certainly those I have spoken to close to the club believe that if it was to be him, he would certainly be an appointment that would excite the Celtic fan base as they look to challenge Rangers once more. So it will be very interesting to see what happens in terms of developments on this in the coming days.
OK, Charles, for the moment, thank you.